Embrace the struggle. You got to go through it. You got to fake it to make it. You have to have it become a big part of your life. You have to have it in the background. The more that you ingest, the more that you digest, the more familiar you're going to be with it. You're going to be accustomed to the sounds and the speed and the different, subtle nuances. And although I'm not fluent right now, I can definitely tell you that it's becoming way more normal to me. It's especially when you're alone, when you're studying alone, you don't really have anyone in your real life that's gonna help you or anything like that. You, in my personal experience, I actually forget that I'm going after something that is so rare. At least like in where I am, like my town and stuff. Who knows? There's probably yeah, there's definitely people that are probably learning Japanese in their own way, or actual Japanese people. But I've never met anyone in my life who can speak Japanese in my real life, and there's times where I get discouraged. Kind of, I think that I should know more, or I should practice more and stuff like that. But then I also think back to how little I knew in the beginning, and it's so drastically different. Um, and so when you're on this journey, just like I am, please remember that as long as you keep it up, you are making progress, and it's not a race. You're never going to get to a point where you're like, I know it all, I have it all figured out, I did it, that's it. Never. Just like in your native language. For me, it's English. I don't know everything about English. I don't. There's words I'm like, huh? So please just keep immersing, keep listening, whatever the way you do it. Maybe you do Anki, AJAT, maybe you practice online speaking to people, whatever it is, just keep it up. And as far as immersion, for me personally, what I do is I watch, actually, I rarely watch, but I listen. I would say 90-95% of everything I do is listening. So, and I watch uh, podcasts, um, the news, anything that like native Japanese people watch. So it sounds kind of crazy, but it's like I'll go through hours of just native level speaking and things like that. And I can't really understand a lot of it like at all. I'll use visual cues and stuff like that if I'm watching, but you might feel like you're going kind of crazy. You might feel like this is too much. Like, what am I doing? But I heard from someone, and I think it's a really good way to look at it. Is think of it as like a puzzle, right? Japanese, you have this big picture, right? And you have these little pieces. Okay, I have this. I have watashi. I have okay, I know what this is. Ringo. The basic stuff. But eventually, you're gonna be able to piece them together, and you're gonna hear phrases um, that people use daily, and it's just gonna click like that. You're not even gonna translate it in your head. Like like when somebody says "nani shiteru no," I already know what that means. Like, so it's more like the more you listen to in real life conversations and things like that, the better it is, because you can read in a textbook and stuff like that, and it'll be grammatically correct, but you're not. It's kind of crazy. Like when I watch stuff, it's kind of rare that I hear people even say "watashi wa," blah blah blah, because it's already under the context. It's obviously they're talking about themselves. So yeah, man, I kind of jump randomly. So like there's times where I literally just watch or start an anime and I'll just move on to the next. It's probably not the best habit, but I like to keep my mind just kind of um, just ready, like at any angle. So I use a VPN, and I'll switch it to the Japanese region, and I'll watch stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think of on my head, like YouTube. There's yeah, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to like think of the name because like I just watch, like I don't really, because I'll be at work and I'll have a headphone in, so my phone's put away and I'm just listening, you know. Like Atashinchi, Miku, Real Japanese, Game Gengo. Um, man, there's just so many. Like there's so many that I can't remember. But my message is just to keep it up, even if you feel like you don't have an immediate use of the language. If it's something that you just want to do, you just like it. It's something that you just think about. It's going to be easier to stick to because you're gonna have fun. You're gonna go towards that. Oh, another big piece of immersion is I've been playing some of the Yakuza games, and just a side note, like Yakuza 7 is one of the top best video games I've ever played in my whole life. I'm not really used to a lot of turn-based RPGs, but everything about that game is 10 out of 10. And it's funny because I actually play an English dub because I just liked it. Like I like how I like the voice acting is really good. Everything about it's kind of like I'm watching anime like in a dub. But even that is pretty good for immersion because sometimes the Sujimon they'll speak in Japanese. Um, they'll say certain things on the street and stuff like that. So you'll get to use. And it's not really the most practical because it's like that rough Yakuza kind of language. People don't really talk that rudely. But and then also like the signs, like all the the katakana, the hiragana, and they have a lot of kanji too. So just literally just walking around first person, just seeing everything, and um, because one of the things that I've realized is that learning a language requires more than just studying. You really it, it goes so much more deeper than that. It's like if someone were to try to learn English, right? But they don't watch any television shows, podcasts, they don't know anything about the music or celebrities, like they go hand in hand. So, yeah, check out music, food, the culture, everything about the history. It all comes together and what's going to happen is you're going to learn, but it's not going to feel like you're studying. So you're going to be getting information, but you're not going to be it's not going to feel like you're at school or you have an assignment or you have a test coming up. You're just it's part of your life. So I think I'm around 6 months in. So far, so good. I don't count the days really anymore. On my Instagram, I wanted it to be daily, but as far as me, what I realize, even as far as like fitness or anything like that, like when I document myself and put pressure on myself every single day, I tend to get overwhelmed. So I try not to think about it. I try not to just think of it like I'm trying to get every single thing out of every single day. There's days where I just like watch anime or like I said, play Yakuza. Like I'm not like, okay, I have to study on the TED form or something like that. As long as you keep it up, as long as honestly, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, your brain's gonna connect the dots. And it's just gonna be something that is a part of your life. And who knows? One day you might meet someone who's on the same page as you, and that could boost everything up. So stick with it. I've got a long way to go. Um, 頑張れ。ありがとうございます。またね。